What is animal welfare? The term animal welfare may stir hesitant feelings in reptile hobbyists due to the strange association with the animal rights movement. Unfortunately, that may deter keepers from the much needed discussion regarding animal welfare. It's probably important that we begin with defining both of these and separating them both in our minds. If we look at the definition given by the American Veterinary Medical Association, then, and I quote here, animal welfare means how an animal is coping with the conditions in which it lives, i.e. an animal is in a good state of welfare. While if we look at the dictionary.com's definition of animal rights, the rights of animals claimed on ethical grounds to the same humane treatment and protection from exploitation and abuse that are accorded to humans. I just want to make the differences very clear, and if I quote from the textbook Zoo Animals, then animal welfare science is the study of an animal's quality of life. Its discussion shouldn't be shunned, it should be encouraged. Now, for the most part, a large majority of welfare research has been focused on agriculture and domestic species. This has furthered our understanding of farm animal welfare and offers other animal keepers a great framework of general principles to measure our animals' welfare. You may have seen me mention the UK's Animal Welfare Act 2006 before. This offers principles that we can use to measure the care state of our animals. These are called the 5 animal needs, and this is the need for a suitable environment, the need for a suitable diet, the need to be able to exhibit normal behaviour patterns, the need to be housed with or apart from other animals, the need to be protected from pain, suffering, injury and disease. Now, you will notice that these focus on the avoidance of negative welfare, but don't necessarily achieve great or even good welfare. Like I have mentioned in previous videos, this only gets us up to satisfactory welfare. Even more attention is required for measuring indicators of positive welfare. I have mentioned the paper by Melfi detailing this in previous videos, but that is 11 years old now. I'd like to focus on those indicators of positive welfare. And if I quote from the work of David J. Mellor et al. In regards to positive welfare indicators, these indicators include environment-focused activities of exploration and food acquisition, i.e. foraging or hunting, and the animal-to-animal interactive activities of bonding and bond affirmation, maternal, paternal or group care of young, play behaviour and sexual activity. In general terms, the associated positive effects are considered likely to include various forms of comfort, pleasure, interest, confidence, and a sense of being in control. More specifically, they may include feelings of being energized, engaged, affectionately sociable, rewarded maternally or paternally, or as a group, nurtured, secure, or protected, excitedly and joyful, and or sexually gratified. Now, this quote isn't reptile specific, but we can use this for assessing our reptiles' welfare states. So let's just pick this apart a second. So, include environment-focused activities of exploration and food acquisition, i.e. foraging or hunting. This can be achieved through hiding food items within the enclosure to engage in this. Animal-to-animal interactive activities of bonding and bond affirmation. While this may not be relevant to all species, it is relevant to social species like prehensile-tailed skinks or leopard geckos. And yes, leopard geckos are far more social than people realise, although the dynamics of cohabbing are beyond the scope of this video. Comfort, pleasure, interest, confidence and a sense of being in control. Again, carefully designing the environment can contribute to this. Multiple hiding opportunities, elaborate design that allows the animal to move around the enclosure without being seen if need be. Pleasure again can be contributed to in various ways, but the most simple way is providing infrared A emitting heat sources and UVB for pleasurable basking. Again, we have to realise that the way we even lay out and decorate our enclosure affects the behaviour of the animals that are inside. Confidence and a sense of control can be achieved, or at least encouraged, by allowing choice-based interactions with handling, etc. As stewards of these exotic reptiles, we must be aiming to push past this and move from satisfactory and into good welfare. Of course, everything is on a gradient. It is a journey with no set destination. We will never reach perfect husbandry, but we sure as hell can aspire to it. So how do we progress as keepers and advance both ourselves, our hobby, and the welfare of our animals? Well, for this, I'd like to hand over to Dylan from the Animals at Home podcast.
If you are new to the reptile hobby, it can be very, very daunting. As you dig your way through the internet, you're going to find a large diversity of ways reptiles are kept. Some keepers are using sterile tubs, others are using large enclosures with fake plants and climbing branches, and others are taking another step and doing bioactive with live plants and soils and insects and whatnot. But which one of those is correct? Well, in reality, to determine if a keeper is on the right track, we must analyze their mindset and not their setup.